So Liberty Nickel Collection, update number 2. A few new coins from last time. I have an 1884 I recently purchased, it's on its way, and then a 1883 with cents and no cents that are being graded. So the first coin in the date run is 1889 that I have here. This one's mint state 62. I think I paid about $2.20 for this one. Only problem I have with it, the luster is a little muted, and then the planchet quality isn't great. There's a little bit of streakiness to the planchet. That's something that you just have to look out for. If there's almost looks like a wood grain finish, there's kind of a graininess to it. That has to do with the metal itself, the alloy. You know, I want coins that are high quality, and the planchet is just one of the aspects. Strikeliness, luster, and eye appeal, other components, but I probably will upgrade that 1889 at some point. It's a little tougher of a date, but this is 1890. This one was $4.80, I believe. Mostly because the sticker, I think it's probably closer to a $420 to $450 coin without that. But there's only about a dozen that have a sticker in this grade. Nice tone to it, nice original, non-dipped surface. A harder date, 1890, just harder date to find with a good strike to it. $1891. This one's an AU coin. My dad actually got, and he gave it to me to put into the collection. Really nice luster to this. I mean, you can get AU 58s that are much less attractive than this. There's just a few marks in the fields that show it was circulated. A couple of the stars on the right side have a little bit of weakness. I think he paid around, yeah, $2.25 for this one. Definitely not cheap for an AU, but you know, in terms of quality for AU 58, that's a really good one. This coin, 1892 in mint state 63. Nice little color. You can see one longer kind of scratch or contact mark in the fields right up, you know, next to her chin. That keeps this down a little bit, in my opinion. I think on a different day, you know, maybe this coin would have got a 62. But still a really nice one. A tough date to find. This one was $2.80, so a little pricey actually for the, you know, it's probably more closer to a $250 coin, but this one had good eye appeal. I was willing to pay a little more for it. You know, that is a lesson, I guess. I've seen one or two since I bought the one that were at least that good quality for just a hair bit less. So just a lesson in patience. 1895. This one was $2.50. Mint state 63. A nice original coin. Maybe, you know, one little spot there in the obverse, kind of behind her hair, but a lot of these coins developed spots, and I try not to buy ones with a lot of spot issues, but a few marks just keep it from higher grade, but this one has pretty nearly full strike on the back, and a nice coin overall. You know, any date in the 1890s generally is going to be tougher, particularly before 1897. This is a, so I'm missing the 1894. I have a good line out for one of those in mint state 63, a really nice example. 1894 is a key date, but this 1896 is also tough date as well. This is AU 58, and really a nice coin for AU grade. A lot of times the AU V nickels just have a lot of muted luster and issues, and are not very eye appealing. This one was, let's see, $2.25. I think it books for right around 200. But if you find a good example, I mean, you're going to learn when you start to get into a series what a good deal is. And, you know, if you get a better than average coin for a grade, willing to pay a bit more for it. 1898, this one, let me see. I don't remember offhand what I paid. I think this one was in the mid 200, maybe 240 or so. 1898 is not too difficult of a date. It is hard to find, though, in a nice, eye-appealing, well-struck example. This one has great original surface to it. Sorry, the light's kind of reflecting. Well-struck, you know, not a lot of distracting marks. There's one larger contact mark kind of running parallel to the left side of the V there. And, you know, in a mid-state 63, you're going to see that. And, you know, on our cheek, another one. That's just kind of, yeah, there's a good view of the kind of a little contact mark scratch on the front. You know, without those few, you're looking at a 64, maybe a 65 on this coin. But those, you know, while they limit the grade, they also kind of bring down the price for you. So it all depends on what your grade focus is. And, you know, this is still a really nice, appealing coin. Even with that, in my opinion, to keep it, you know, well under $300. Move to 1900. So I am missing an 1899 and an 1897. I have an 1899 out for grading right now that probably will come back about a 63. 1900, this is a mid-state 64. I got this coin several years ago. Let me check my notes here on it. So this was 215. I got it, actually I got this one earlier in the year. 215, I think when I first started collecting this series in 2020, the market price for, you know, 1900 plus, you know, most of the 1900 dates is about 180 and mid-state 64. So I have noticed that 63 and 64 graded coins have kind of moved up, you know, $20, $30 or more over the past 2 years. That's probably just a reflection on general pricing and things like that. But 1901, this one's 63, a really nice 63. You can really cherry pick the grades when you get post 1900. There's just a lot of dates available and a lot of range within a certain grade. So you can hold out for a really nice one. This 1901 was 100, so that was 125. And just comparing, so I mean the obverse on that one, 125 versus 215. There's really not a whole lot of difference. There's maybe a little, fewer surface marks in this 1900, but when you're talking almost $100 difference between these two coins, you know, I don't opt for cherry picking the 63 when possible. This 1902, an easier date as well. You know, anything post 1900, excluding maybe the 12D and 12S. Obviously, 12S is a key, but you know, this was 180, so there's just a lot of available coins. And finding one that's well struck, though, you can just take your time and you know, it's not too hard to do when you're talking some of these dates. And so this 1903 in mid-state 62, this coin was $115. And one reason I started collecting this series in general was the relative eye appeal and low price of MS62 graded coins. This one is nearly a full coin on the back, and every star is detailed. This 1905, Also a Mint State 62. This was 140. 1905, again, not a rare date, but you know, to find a nice one with good eye appeal, they're definitely in the minority for the surviving population. A lot of them tend to have weakness on strike, or they're dipped out or things like that. This is another really nice Mint State 62. This coin was 125. Really good luster. You know, a few marks on surfaces, but you know, it's a 62. You're paying just over $100, you know, for a coin that's almost 120 years old. And 1907, nice, a little bit darker, but golden, kind of deep golden hue to that one. Very original nickel surface, not dipped. Things like that are appealing to me. Just originality. 1907 is not a rare date either, but and this coin was also around 140. Yeah, there's a lot of 1907s out there. I probably could have got one with a little bit more pop to it and luster, but this one just very original, problem-free. 1908, this one was a recent pickup, 175, Mint State 63. You know, when I first started this set, this date probably would have been close to 150. They've just moved up a little bit since then. Some decent color on the front. Really original look to it. Nearly a full corn. Yeah, nice 1908 there. I'm missing a, let's see, a 1904, yeah. But here's a 1909 Mint State 64 with CAC. This one was a little pricier. I think I paid $280 for this. 1909, I think if you're looking post 1900, you say 1900 and 1910. 1909 is the hardest date that one that I've noticed. Just not as many that come onto the market. Really good eye appeal on that one. This 1910, this one was, let's see, 115. This was the first V-nickel I purchased for the set. So I got this one and I thought, wow, I could put together a set, you know, for relatively cheap in the lower Mint State grades and get really nice appealing coins. So that was kind of the catalyst for me, at least on the V-nickels. And I don't think I realized how hard some of the 1880 dates were, but that's how it goes. You know, you grow into a set a little bit. 1911, this one was, so Mint State 64, beautiful surfaces on this coin. Probably really close to a technical 65, just a few extra marks that maybe kept it back. This one was 215, really full strike. And you'll notice again, a lot of these coins, you know, in the market have spots and issues, and it was really important to me to have problem-free or relatively problem-free coins, you know, with good planchets and not too many distracting marks, you know. 1912, very common date. I think this one has maybe more average eye appeal. It's a nice coin for sure. I paid $130 for it. The market price has probably moved up a little since then, but there's probably some nicer 1912s out there. But it is a really original coin. A little die crack near the bottom in the cents. It's kind of interesting when you find those. Quite a few of the dates have, more particularly in the early 1880s, have die cracks and issues like that. 1912D. This one is kind of a sleeper date in the set. A lot fewer coins certified in Mint State than you would think. I got this one at Heritage Auction for $430. Really nice, appealing MS62. yeah, I probably paid a little bit up for it at the time. The price has moved up to kind of make it a good buy, I guess, now, but bought it a couple years ago, and really well struck, nice surfaces. You know, on a different day, I can see this coin getting a 63 for sure. One of the only two mint marked coins in the set. Really good detail on the back, nice originality. 12S, one of the keys, purchased this earlier in the year, 2100. Definitely an expensive date for sure. And I think it's, you know, when you're starting a set, a lot of people will maybe buy a lower end coin for the keys. It was pretty important to me to have the key dates really stand out in this series for me. So I was willing to take a little extra time, find a good example. This one's got really golden surfaces. You know, it's got a lot of the characteristics. There's a few die variations for the 1912 that I've noticed on the more well-struck coins. This one is really well-struck for 1912. Best strike I've ever seen on one. Every detail of the coin is visible. There's a mark on the crest of the V, or the middle of the V there, that probably, you know, keeps it from being a higher grade. There's a little bit of striking weakness on the hair. That's just kind of the way all these were for 1912S, but that's a collection so far. I have several that are out being graded, and then a few that I'm kind of looking at purchasing. 1894, probably the next big one to hit in this series. But yeah, it's really nice to have a group of nickels together that's got a nice original look to them. Yeah, I think all in together, probably about 6,000 into the series, and there's keys at 1885, 1886, and then 1894 that I still need. So it is, you know, a long haul. I'll probably be another 2 years before I'm done. And but yeah, really nice, rewarding set to put together in mint state, and just to take time with each date, you know, learn what was going on in the country as these coins are being made, what would they be used for, and just have a really neat period in American history. You know, the U.S. was industrializing, and a lot of technology that we take for granted today was being developed and popularized. But yeah, that's a look at the collection today, and I'll do an update in a few months.